This week is record-breaking week here at KWK, and after this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air. No more rock and roll, no more rock and roll, no more rock and roll, no more rock and roll.
This is rock and roll, and it just won't go.
It was pretty disorganized, but at the end, it would turn out pretty good.
Was rebellious, and fortunately we were allowed to do it.
But I had as much fun as anybody did. You know, just farm boy from Ohio. I mean, you get a chance to do something like this.
We set the course for the remainder of our respective lives.
And everybody had fun. Everybody had fun.
We found our inner hams.
But it was okay. You realize not being quite perfect in your music, still it was music.
There are a lot of people that were involved in this for years, that this was a very important part of their life.
The thing's still going, and it just kind of wouldn't die.
Because Brother Puyas didn't like it. And I don't know how I managed to work it out. It was probably Bison Day, with a contest that you did not win. You could not win. It was a done deal the minute you played your first song. The judging was that we don't have this kind of music. This is rock and roll, and it just won't go.
And I arrived at chapel, and there is a note on my seat to go see Carl McKelvey, see Dean McKelvey, and you never know what that means, but I go into Dean McKelvey's office and was floored that he says, "What about you guys doing a concert next year?"
It was the idea of using students. We couldn't get professional people, not that we couldn't get them, we just were not allowed to get them. And I thought, well, we can have student programs. And from that was the emergence of the programs from Delta Na Na Na.
I'd never sung in anything but the shower or the car. And I'll never forget that first time Gary asked me to sing Little Darling, I was like, why? And then the first time we did it on stage, and I had my back, you remember we had the little silhouettes kind of things, and I had my back to the stage, I was trembling. I thought, I've got to turn around here in 60 seconds and sing, and there were probably 800 plus people in the auditorium. And I literally, my knees were shaking.
Basically, the rhythm for everything we did was boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick. And there were two versions of that. There was the fast version and the slow version.
It was pretty simple. We had Ernie Kelvicher play the guitar, I played the guitar, Jerry Covert played the saxophone, Johnny Kimbrough played the piano a little bit, Dave Peck played the bass, Andy played the drums, and then we just threw out some songs, and if you think about all the songs back there, they all sound a little bit alike. So we were able to do a lot of songs, just change the words and the key every once in a while, and everybody had fun.
In years gone by, we did the greased back hair, which was a nightmare for a drummer because you couldn't get rid of that grease. As you'd sweat, it would grease up your face, but I couldn't get it off my hands. The sticks kept sliding.
You know, the saxophone there was 4 or 5, notes you played that went with the 4 or 5 chords that were in the song, and that was what happened. And so it was a lot of fun, very rudimentary, quite honestly, and in a way, I always felt like probably the least talented person in the group. But I had as much fun as anybody did.
And the other thing is the audience. I never forget all the girls out there, Susie, Melinda, Patty, Susan, all of them out there screaming like we were doing something fantastic.
Brother Collins, who was really on the hot seat because as vice president, he was over my work. And if you remember, I did tell you that he called me in the following Monday. And it was later on after you all done several shows. I can't remember, may have been the time when Stags wore nothing but at the top but a leather vest. no shirt. I remember that may have been the time that they called me in and said, you know, it was nothing but as Brother Collins said, it was an orgy. Nothing but an orgy.
Everybody had a piece of this that really did make it sort of a band of brothers kind of event. It was special to different people in different ways.
And ours was a joyful noise. It really was. And I think it's theological what we did. It was just as good as church music because it was our music and we enjoyed it. And we still enjoy it.
We established these eternal bonds and friendships, and I think that's what it's all about. The music's a great vehicle for that.
We wouldn't be sitting here or doing this show tonight if it weren't for Carl McKelvey having the vision to say, this was pretty good and needs to happen. So thanks, Carl.
Because it got to the point where I was trying to actually kill the program, and it just kept, it wouldn't die. It wouldn't die. It wouldn't die. It wouldn't die. It wouldn't die.